Hey, welcome back to another episode of Baxter's Buzz. I am your host, Baxter E. Hall. Um, I got up late and now I'm dealing with kids interrupting my recording. We got things to do. I'm in the office today. Got to get the boy to daycare and such. And I've been interrupted a handful of times. And so ain't nobody fault but my own. Just want to thank everybody for supporting so far. Really, just trying to add to the conversation. There's conversation, those thoughts that I have that I've been writing about in my Baxter's Buzz blog for 12, 13 years now, and it's just time to add this other element to it. So I hope you guys enjoy it. Today's song of the day is "A Change Is Gonna Come" by Sam Cooke. Um, I thought about it because of all the changes that we're waiting on as Americans. Many of us, most of us, maybe, uh, are seeing these injustices and want to see some things be done. Just a little quick backstory on Sam Cooke's song. It was sort of inspired by an incident down in Shreveport, Louisiana. Shreveport. Somebody can correct me, but uh, he was down there. He had made reservations at a hotel, but when he went to go check in, they, because he was black, said no, we don't have any opens. Right? He clearly knew what was happening, and so was very very upset about it. I mean, he was a really big star at the time, right? Um, and so there's even a report that while he was getting into it, he was like demanding to talk to the manager, and he was pretty upset about things. And his wife said, "Stop! They're gonna kill you." And he said, "They can't. They're not gonna kill me. I'm Sam Cooke, right?" So I'm sure there's a bit of embarrassment, and that there's a reminder that being black in America still, with money or without money, represents many of the same discriminatory practices, and depending on the situation, could really mean life or death. So he's upset. They try to calm him down. They finally convince him to leave, and they go to try to find a new hotel, only to be met by the police and arrested for disturbing the peace. So um, much worse has happened to folks, and his celebrity maybe saved his life, but it was still something that was hurtful to him, and so the song was sort of birthed out of that. My friends and I, we recorded a conversation recently about ambivalence, black ambivalence, and so there's these things where we see a bit of success, let's say, and think that the rules don't apply to you. And it all has to start with humanity, in my opinion, not with black, white, or anything. It has to start with humanity and how people are being treated. And if it starts there, it makes everything else much more clear. And it's not a me versus them, or um, why they're being treated this way, or why I being treated this way. It's, hey, if it's not fair, then it ain't fair. If it ain't fair for me, it ain't fair for you, right? And so at that time, Sam Cooke had been a pretty neutral kind of pop star and had never really tackled any sort of social issues into this song. Um, so shout out to Sam Cooke and his legacy. Um, in 2019, the mayor of Shreveport, Louisiana, formally apologized to Sam Cooke's family and posthumously, is that the word? Gave him the key to the city. So it only took 56 years for them to sort of formally apologize um, about the treatment that Cook and his family and his band members had to endure. So, you know, we're moving on. Change, right? Speaking of change, November 3rd, we're approaching a huge election. And there's a lot of people who, you know, aren't sure who to vote for, aren't sure what to do, you know, aren't sure if they even want to vote or not. I'm super proud of the things that we are doing. Some of my friends and I are putting together a nonprofit, and there'll be more time to talk about that. But really, trying to walk the talk, right? So we can talk about things, we can question things, but what sort of actions are you taking? And so we are working on things to sort of put our money where our mouth is, you know, dedicate and devote our time, resources, and expertise. And the folks that are out there, sort of beating the same drum, regurgitating these same talking points, but they're not really challenging those points or challenging themselves. I don't really have a whole lot to say to those folks. It feels like a waste of time. I think that there are people out there that will scrutinize your position and your point, but yet they don't have their own point, or their point has so many holes in it. They haven't put it through the same uh, scrutiny that they've put your points in, that they seem to not disagree with. And I've heard this around before, but you're only as good as the last time you've changed your mind. So be able to challenge your thoughts, challenge the people around you, make sure things still check out. And it'll do, a couple of things, right? It'll either strengthen your beliefs and your position on things, or it may open your eyes to something different, something that you hadn't thought of before. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's actually healthy. We're continuing to evolve. We need to make sure that we are really challenging our thought process and the people around us. And if it's stale, and if it needs to be freshened up, then kudos to you for having the courage to maybe go against the grain and say, hey, I changed my mind. How I used to think this, but now I'm thinking this, right? There's nothing wrong with that. I want to just wish everybody a great day. Thank you for watching. Regardless of what time of day you're checking this out, please enjoy the rest of the day. And looking forward to sharing more with y'all soon. Peace.